Hello everyone, I'm Alicia. For this tutorial, I'm going to show you guys how to make these really cute, they're so adorable, beaded ice cream cones. So this video is actually a continuance of my beaded cupcake tutorial. In the cupcake tutorial, I talked about all different kinds of things that I will not be covering in this video. I talked about different sizes of beads that you can use, the shapes, the stringy material that can be used, all kinds of things. I covered it in that video. And this video and that video are kind of like the same thing. I just have a cone on this instead of the stump for my cupcake. So please go watch the cupcake video so you can better understand everything. I mean, I covered a lot of stuff in that video. So since I talked about everything that I had to talk about in the cupcake video, only thing I have left to do is to get my materials ready and start making the beaded ice cream cone with you guys. So for the materials, let's talk about the beads you can use for the cone. They're kind of hard to find. The color, I really wanted the cone color to be really close to exact of an actual ice cream cone, and I went through all my beads and I found these in my stash. These are 6/0 check seed beads. The color is called Speckled Oats. I bought these from, I think it was AC Moore, but Joann's Crafts also has them. This is the Beater's Paradise name brand. Anyways, I always look for these to go on sale, and I buy them up when they are cheap. I got a lot of them for like $1.80 something a tube, which is awesome because I think they're normally like $3 or $4 a tube, which is way overpriced. But anyways, if you can't find these at your local craft store, Shipwreck Beads also sells these, but they're not calling them Speckled Oats. I think they're calling them Marbled something. If you go to Shipwreck Beads and you go to their seed beads, go to check beads, go to 6/0 seed beads, and then you'll see different finishes. There's like marbled, I believe that's what it's called. I think it's a marbled one. There's a turquoise marbled one there that I bought from them before, and that's how I remember that. So anyways, that's that one. And the other color here I'm using, these are 8/0 seed beads. These are going to be my sprinkles. I'm thinking about making this ice cream cone into an earring. First I thought I would do a little charm with a lobster claw, but now I think I'm going to do it into an earring. So the one ice cream cone I'm making in the video is kind of going to look like the top of this one. See how I have, it looks like chocolate sprinkles or chocolate chips in the top there? That's kind of what it's going to look like. So anyways, this brown here, I got these from a bead store that was going out of business, and look what they're called, milk chocolate brown. Isn't that funny? I can't believe that both of these here are food names. This is Speckled Oats, this one is chocolate brown, right? I did not do this on purpose, I swear. This was all by accident. Excuse me. And the color I'm using for the top is eggshell. How weird is that? It's just so weird. So these I got from Rockin' Beads, but I think these are also on Shipwreck Beads. So your best bet might be, if you don't have this and you want to make it to get the best deal, you could go to Shipwreck Beads. A lot of times they have sales, and you can use their coupons, and you can get beads to make the cone and the top, and probably even the brown here. These I think are Toho, but you could probably find them in another color. And you don't have to have these 8/0s in brown. You don't. Okay? You can do other colored beads, like with my little cupcake here for sprinkles. Or you don't have to do sprinkles at all. These do not have sprinkles, and they look fine. And you don't have to put a cherry on top. But I really love the cherry. I thought it made it even cuter, so that's why I did that. So that's just a little talk about, you know, where you can get beads for the what's it called, cone. These beads here, I talked about this in a previous video, but if you didn't see that video, then you don't know about it. So these bicones I use, and these are Preciosa bicones, and the name of them is Isabel. They are actually, they're Preciosa. I got them from Crystals and Beads for Friends, but they're probably also going to be on Shipwreck Beads. So if you're like me and you want to get all your stuff at one place instead of going around all these different stores, you could probably find these on Shipwreck Beads. Also, you can get them on Amazon. If you search for, on Amazon, MC Bicone Crystals Isabel, it'll pop up. It'll be right at the top. I just did it on my phone to make sure I was able to find them easily. So, that's for the cone. I just wanted to tell you guys that. So, let's go and do how many beads you will need and your string material and all that. So, I am using 4 feet of this bead stringing wire. This is 0.010 bead stringing wire. I talked about in my cupcake video the different kinds of string materials you can use for the cupcake, and it's same goes for this here. So if you want to learn about the 2 other ones, go watch that video, because I don't want to make this one really long because the first one was long. So I'm using 4 feet of string material. Okay, and that again is the size that I'm using. And I'm also using 60 seed beads for this ice cream cone. I have 42 beads for the top of my ice cream cone, and 6 of them on the top are actually these here. So actually it's 36 I'm using, and then my other right there, that's 6, so that's a total of 42 beads for the top. And for my cone, I'm using 29 beads for the cone. And also, the cupcake I made used 3 feet of string material. This uses 4. So you're also going to need, if you want, you don't have to, a bead for the top. This is a 6mm check truck. I'm also using 11 seed beads for the top right there. And I'm using a crimp. There's my crimp. But I'm only using the crimp because I'm using the bead stringing wire. So please make sure you watch the cupcake video so you can better understand this. And you can use earrings findings to connect the cupcakes to, or you can put them on a lobster claw clasp. That's actually what I want to do with this one, but I think I'm going to turn it into earrings because they're just so darn cute. And I would like to wear them. So you have different options. And just like with the cupcake, I had to put a rondelle in there to keep, because I used fireline to keep this hard. So with those there, you're seeing that these have a loop right there, a wire loop. That's because I also had to put a rondelle in there to keep this from collapsing. Okay, so now let's get started. So if you're feeling brave enough to make the triple-decker ice cream cone, I used 6.5 feet of stringing material to make this. And once you make this here, you'll kind of understand how to make that. It's not bad at all. Okay, it just takes a long time to make it because it's 3 scoops of ice cream. Okay, so I'm going to start with the color on the top. This is going to be just like the cupcake. I've got 3, 5, I need 6 in total. Crisscross through the 6th bead. Put the ends together and bring this bead down to the center. Just like that, a circle of 6 seed beads. Now I'm going to pick up 4. There's 3. Here's 4, and I'm going to crisscross through the 4th one and bring this bead down. So now I have a circle of 6, and here's kind of my 5. So I'm going to take this string and go through this bead because my wire is actually pointing in that direction. I was making this with my brother. I made the beaded mushroom with him. And I'm like, you have to listen to the beads. They are telling you what to do. And he thought I was crazy. And I'm like, look, it's pointing in that direction. It's telling us that we have to do it. So there's 2. Here's 2. Again, 3. I'm picking up 3 because I need a circle of 5. Crisscross through this bead. Now, pulling it tight, looking at it, look at it. The beads are talking to us. This one's going nowhere. This is our strand that we pick beads up with. This one is pointing at this bead. It's telling us that we have to go through it. You just have to listen. Taking the String and going through there, just the one. I have to be careful I don't get kinks because I'm using bead stringing wire. Just like that, I'm going to repeat it again. Also, something I realized I had to point out to my brother, and I'm showing him how to make this. He would try to use this wire over here and pick up beads. You want to keep the 6 seed beads right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This circle of 6 in the center. Our cherry will sit right on top of those 6 seed beads. Here are 5. If you look, there's 5 there, there's 5 here. I'm going to make 5 again. So you want to make sure that this stays in the center and you don't go around this circle of beads, okay? So with this wire, when you pull this tight, I have to take this wire, pick up 3 and cross to the 3rd one. Crossing through there, bringing it down. Pulling it tight. That wire's pointing at that bead, so now I have to go through that one. Just like that. Picking up 3 again. Crossing through the 3rd one. Bringing it down. And now I have this. Take this wire, pass through that bead. Just like that. So here's my circle of 6. I have to take this wire that's coming out of the 5 right there and pick up 3 beads. Something I do want to let you guys know, I know I repeat myself a lot, but the reason why I do it is because even though I'm repeating myself and telling you guys this, you know, same thing over and over, I still have people comment and ask me a question that I repeated on my video. Which sounds crazy to me because I repeated it. So that's why I am so repetitive, if that's even a word. So picking up 3 and crisscrossing through this bead. I cannot tell you how many times I have answered a question in my video and somebody asked me the question that I answered. See that? That was so close to kinking. It's probably been over 100 times. It has to be. If they've just watched the video, they would have heard me say what they wanted to hear. Okay, passing through that bead there. So now I'm at the close. And I actually screwed up. I should have went through those 2 beads at the same time. So I'm just going to pull that out. I don't want to risk kinking my wire. I'm at the close here. I have to take this wire, go through this bead and that bead. And we are doing the same thing we did in the cupcake video, by the way. The top is the same. Okay. There we go. We now have this. Kind of looks like a flower, like one of my flowers I've made before. I'm going to take one of my wires, does not matter which, I'm right-handed. So I'll do the right side, I'll pick up 2 beads, crisscross through it. I gotta make another circle of 5 beads. Just like that. Okay, now when you pull it tight, this string is telling us that we have to go through this bead. See, it's pointing in that direction. This one's going nowhere. This is our pickup strand. Well, I say that, but once we go through this hole, we can actually use any string we want. Yep. So now we have that there. It's slightly doming. So I'm going to take my right string, and I'm going to pick up the frosting, or not, actually it's not frosting. We're doing ice cream cone. That's right. I got to remember. I'm picking up my ice cream color, and then I'm going to pick up my cone, and then my ice cream color. Sorry if I seem off in this video, but this is my 4th video today, and that is a lot for me. Sometimes I do 3, but never 4, and I'm feeling like I'm starting to lose my mind. Okay, so now I'm going to take this wire and go through these 2 beads right here. I actually had a bad headache coming on. Luckily it went away. Going through those 2 beads there. Now I'm coming through 3. So over here I picked up 2, but this time I'm coming through 3 beads. Okay. Actually, no, I picked up 3. That's what I'm saying. Over here, I picked up 3. Okay, when I started doing the bottom of the ice cream cone. Over here, I'm going to pick up 2. So with this string, keeping the cone color to our right, I'm going to pick up one of my cone colors and my ice cream color and crisscross through that bead. Pulling it tight, I'm going to take this wire and go through this bead and that bead. Just like that. Careful we don't get any twisting or kinking going on. Just like that. Take this wire, this is our cone side, and I have to pick up the cone bead and the ice cream color and crisscross through this bead. Pull it tight, take this wire, it's telling us we have to go in this direction, I have to go through this bead and this bead. Oops, bumped into the camera. Okay, just like that. Again, take the wire over here with the cone color, pick up the cone bead and the ice cream color. Eggshell flavored ice cream. In case you don't know what I'm talking about, that's the color of my bead. Okay, just like that. Pulling it tight, I have to go through those 2 right there. Now I'm through 3 again with this wire. I have to take my cone color and my ice cream color, cross through this one. Just like that. I now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of my cone beads on the bottom, and I'm at the close at the top of my ice cream cone. So I'm going to take this wire, which is pointing down, that one's pointing into nowhere, which means that's our pickup wire. I'm going to take this one and reposition it. I have to pass through these 3 beads, and it's best to do that all in one shot so I don't kink my wire. If you're doing this with monofilament, you do not have to worry about kinking that. Okay, just like that, through those 4 beads. Remember, I have to do a circle of 5, so I'm just going to pick up my cone color and crisscross through that bead. Bring it down. Pulling it tight. You want to make sure all of those are standing up, and mine are. Look at that. I think they're standing up because they're all check seed beads, and that's what they do. They are awesome. I love check. Okay, there's the top of the ice cream. Now we are going to do the cone. Okay, I'm right-handed, but let's see. Let's see if one string's like a lot longer. Not that bad. I'll take the longer string. Yeah, I'll take the longer string. This one's going to be different from the cupcake, the bottom. So I'm picking up 3 beads, okay? I'm going to crisscross through the 3rd bead, bring that down. I now have this. I'm going to take this wire and pass through that bead right there, my next bead for my cone, just like that. Then I have to take this wire, okay, and pick up 2 of my cone beads and crisscross to the second one. Okay, pulling it tight. This one is pointing in at that bead. See that wire is talking to us. It's telling us to go through that bead. Going through there. Okay, and on this wire right here, I have to pick up 2 again. Crisscross to the second one. slide it down. I'm going to take this wire, pulling it tight. It's telling us we have to go through that bead. When you pass through a bead, be careful that it doesn't get twisted. This happens a lot whenever I crisscross through beads. Here, I'll show you what happens. I've talked about this before, but my brother did it last night. So he crossed through a bead, right? And when he pulled it, it was doing this number. See this? This happens all the time when I'm using 2 strings. See that right there? See how it's twisting around the wire right there? That's actually trying to tie a knot. You don't want that to happen. So you just want to come in here and pull this wire through, untwist it, and there we go. It's all fixed. It's something you got to pay attention to whenever you're doing 2 ends of thread or monofilament wire, whatever you're using happens. Okay, so I went through that bead right there. I'm coming out these 2 again. I'm just repeating the same thing over and over till I get all the way around. I'm picking up 2 beads, crisscrossing through the second one. This is just like the cupcake. We're almost to the point where it's gonna be different. So far this is the same exact thing we did with the cupcake. Okay, now I'm going to take this wire and pass through this bead right here. I'm at the close. Have 5 beads here standing up on the top. I'm going to take this wire and pass through this bead, but while I'm at it, I'm also going to go through that one right there. Pull it through. Just like that. Now coming out of 3, I have to pick up my cone color. Cross through that bead, just 1. Bring it down, and it closes it up right there. Okay, so now on the cupcake, this is where things change. This is where the cupcake and the ice cream cone is different. On the cupcake, I took my longer wire and I went through all 6 of these beads and I cinched them in, and then I put a bead in the hole to fill the hole, and then I went up to the top and I started doing these sprinkles. This one is not going to be like that. This one is going to be different. We have to do our cone. So to do the cone, I'm going to turn it around here. I'm going to pick up 2 beads. 2 of the 6-ohs, okay? I'm going to crisscross through the second one. So I'm not going around these 6 and cinching them in. I'm not doing that with the ice cream cone. I'm leaving them all open and separated. So I just went and picked up those 2 beads, crisscross through them, pull it tight, and what's going to happen when you pull it, this wire here, look at that, it's pointing at that bead. It's like an arrow telling us to go through that bead right there. Okay, so I'm going to take the wire and go through this bead. Just like that. Through 2 beads. See how this is kind of like a triangle? There's 3 beads there. I'm going to make that again. I'm going to pick up 1 bead though, because I'm exiting out of 2. So I have to do 1. So I picked up 1, crisscross through that, pulling it tight. It's telling us we have to go through that bead. Just like that. Okay, I'm going to pick up another, crisscross through it, bring it down. I have to make sure that these are going in. These are actually starting to dome. So gotta make sure they're laying right and pull it tight. Okay, take this wire and go through that bead right there. Through 2, I'm going to pick up 1, crisscross through the 1, bring it down. We have 5 beads. and the hole is pointing up on them. So pulling this tight, this wire is telling me I have to go through that bead right there. So I'm going to go through there, pick up one bead, crisscross through that bead, pull it tight. So I have to take this wire, okay, that's on the top, I have to reposition it, so I'm going to go down this bead, just like that, and then I have to go through this one, careful it doesn't kink, and then through this one, okay, pull it tight. I'm going to squish this, make it round. Now I have to take this wire and reposition it and come out of that bead. Careful it doesn't kink. Up through this one. And pull it tight. So now we are ready to do the point on our cone. So I'm going to pick up one of my cone beads, crisscross through it, bring it on down. I'm trying to twist and kink on me. Okay, so there's my one bead. Now I'm going to pick up one on each side, and then I'm going to pick up one and crisscross through that one bead. So I actually picked up three. One on each side, crisscross through one. Pull this tight. This here, look at it, is like a flap door, trap door. It's going to be coming down and covering that hole right there. So right now is the point. If you're doing the bicones and you have your rondelle bead up in the top right here, it will sit there because of how it is cinched in right here. You will put your head pin in through this hole, down through the rondelle, then we'll close the top off, tie knots, and then you could put your cherry on top and make your wire loop, all that. Okay, but hopefully you are ahead of me and you already put your rondelle in if you're using bicones. You do not have to have any beads in this for monofilament and bead string wire. They keep the shape perfectly. Okay, so this has to come down right here, and my wires have to go through these beads here. Now with monofilament I could do one and it's fine, but because of how the tension is on this, I'm probably gonna have to do both. So let's see. So I'm taking one of my wires. I should take the longer one. Let's see which one's longer. They're very close, so I'm not gonna let that bother me. So it's gonna be closed like this. Okay, take this wire, go through this bead, and out through that bead. So I'm gonna hold it like this, pull that through. I'm gonna try to keep this snug. If the tension doesn't work, I might have to go through it with my other wire, because that's just how things turn out. Go up through this one here. Okay, and then I'm gonna go through that one right there where I was Xing out of earlier. So basically what I just did is took my wire and I made a circle . Took my wire, came out here, went through this bead, that bead, back through that same bead. So I just made a circle is what I did through those. So this time it turned out good, but sometimes I have like a weird tension. I either have to undo it or take this wire and go through those 3 beads and then back out there, and I'm Xing out the same direction. But this time it worked. Okay, I don't see any looseness. We are good to go. So now I'm just going to take my wires, put them together, take the longer one, pass through the bead next to where I'm Xing out of, which is that one there. Don't let it twist. It's always trying to do the twist. Okay. So we have one wire Xing out of this bead, one out of that bead. I'm going to pick up my last bead for the cone, crisscross through it. We're going to be making the point right there on our ice cream cone. Okay, so there it is, right there. Now, looking at this here, we have to see where our circle of wire path is through, or thread, whatever you're using, so I can get back into the top of the ice cream cone. So I could see here that I have, right here on this one, see there's a wire here, here, there's a circle of wire going through here. I have to have both of my wires come out of this bead. One going this direction, one going in that direction. Now if I screwed up and had one coming out here and one coming out there, I can't really get back down into here because I would be making a new thread path. It just doesn't make sense. So I'm going to take my wire, and you know what? We'll do this one at a time so you guys can better understand. I'm going to take this wire, pass through this bead. Okay. Make sure it's staying tight. Take my other wire, pass through this bead. Stop trying to do the twist. Pull them tight. Okay. So if you look here, I could tell that I have to take this wire and go through that bead because there's my circle of wire. And maybe when I do that, it'll tighten up better for me. Pull it tight. Okay. Sometimes I have to come in here and straighten things out. Okay, now what we have to do is reposition our strings to the top of the ice cream cone. So I have to take this wire coming out here, I have to go through this bead, this bead, this bead, this bead, this one, and come out here. So I'm just kind of like doing figure 8. I'm going like this. On this side, I'm going to take this one and go like this. Both wires will X out here. So I'm just going to do that. And you got to painstakingly do one at a time. Because we're at right angles here, so. I could have done this with monofilament, but I just did not want to tie knots. I don't know why, I just don't have it in me for tying knots. And actually, I thought it was going to be a pain in the neck to tie knots in this. It was not that bad. It wasn't. I tied 3 surgeon's knots, which are very secure. Okay, here I am. It's always best to go like through these 2 beads here. If you go in at an angle like this, right there, that is how you do it. That's the trick to doing that. It's kind of hard to get through there if you try it any other way. Okay. I'm going to pull that tight. Back to this one. Better reposition this one now. And then through here. Just the one. Pull that tight. I'm gonna make sure it's staying tight on me. Now I have to go through this bead. And then through this one. Don't let it twist. And then up through these two. And again, you want to go through these two from the side, just like this. If you try doing it from here, it's going to go through those two. The wrong two. So you got to make sure that you get through the correct ones. Okay. Where I need to be, I have to pull these two wires tight. I have to find out which one is longer. This one's longer. So this one here is longer, so I'm going to pass through this bead. Okay, and pull both my wires tight. Now I'm ready to do the chocolate chips or chocolate sprinkles on the top. So doing this is just going to be like the cupcake. Okay, I'm going to take, I should do the longer one again, let's see. This one's longer. You just don't want to run out of string on one side. You want to do one string halfway around, the other string halfway around. Okay, so I'm coming out this hole here. I'm going to pick up, this one's different by the way. The sprinkles, chocolate chips, whatever you want to call them, they're just on the top. This one here, just on the top. See that? So I used the sixos at the bottom, which caused this to flare at the bottom. So cute. Now this one, I did sprinkles all the way around on the top, and there's no flare. It's just round on the top. So, that's something else to keep in mind. So to do this style, okay, right now my wire's here. I have to come back around. Coil around. I should show this with a needle. I'm coming out here. I have to go around, pick up a bead, go through here. Okay, and then pick up a bead, go around, come through here. Pick up a bead, go around, come through here. Just like this. This is the motion we are going. Okay, going around. Picking up our beads as we're in front of the hole. So this one has to go in this direction through that bead. So I'm on the bottom. That means I have to pick up this color. Just like that. Okay. Now I'm on the top, so I have to pick up my chocolate. I have to go down through this one. Pull it tight. Just like that. I'm at the bottom again. I have to pick up this one. Going up. Now we're back at the top. Top, bottom, top, bottom. Or up, down. There's the top one there. Make sure you pull it tight after every time, because your last one you did will be loose. It will loosen up when you're going to do the next one. Okay, I'm going to do it again. My bottom bead through here. Pull that tight. Let's see, how many did I do? I did 5. I'll do another chocolate. Do the top there. Hold this tight. Okay, and then I'll do one more ice cream from the bottom. So through here. Pull that tight. Now I'm going to swap, so I don't run out of string, and I'm going to do this one. So this one has to go in this direction. So that's the chocolate. Or sprinkle, whatever you're using. And like I said before, you do not have to do 8/0s in this at all. If you do not have them, you can just do all 6/0 seed beads. Here's an Another ice cream colored bead. I'm going this direction. Holding that tight. I'm on the top again, so I have to do my chocolate color through my next bead right here. And then I'm going to pick up my bottom color and go through here. Okay, so now both of my wires are exiting out side by side. The last one I have to add is my brown chocolate. I'm going to take my longer wire, pick up my last one, and go through this bead. Just like this. So just like I did on the cupcake, I have to weave through a few beads, because see how it loosens up? Even though I pull this, it loosens up again. See that? It won't stay tight. So in order to keep it tight, I have to weave through a few beads so I can pass into the top of the ice cream cone. So there's one. Here is two. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on this one. Through this one here. Let's see. I'm going to go through one more bead with this wire on this side. Just like I did on the cupcake. Okay, so I have my wires. One is exiting out right here. See how this kind of looks like a flower with a bead in the middle there? A brown bead in the middle. I'm exiting out right there. Okay. And straight across on the other side, I'm mixing out the same spot. So now, you want to make sure you pull this as tight as possible. It is amazing how hard this is, and there's no bead inside of it. I love weaving with this stuff. So now I'm going to take my wire, pass through this hole, and come out the top. Now this can be done the same way. Oh crap, it's trying to kink on me. Okay. So close. Now this, what I was trying to say is this can be done the same way with monofilament and tying knots. So with monofilament, you're just not going to pick up a crimp. Pick up your cherry. Don't pick up a crimp if you're doing this with monofilament. I'm doing it with bead string wire, so of course I'm going to do that. Got my 3 seed beads, 11 O's, my earring finding, and 3 seed beads. Now I am crisscrossing through my seed beads, 6 of them, my earring finding, and through my seed beads again. Just like that. Slide this on down. Take the wire, go through the crimp. I'm going to tell you how to do this with monofilament. It's not bad. My wires are getting stuck between those beads. Okay, let's see. I'm going to take my wire and I'm going to come out the same hole I came out of earlier, so right there it is, I could see. So, passing through right here. Okay, there's one side. Now I have to do the other side. Through this crimp, don't skip it. Through the cherry. And on that side, I have to come out, I think it's right there. Yeah, I have to come out this way. Wow, that was amazing. No problem, just did it. Okay, just like earlier, I'm going to take my awl, pass through here, and bring this cherry down as far as I can. You need this to be extremely tight so your cherry sits right. Okay, so I'm exiting out here. Now if I were to be doing this with monofilament, okay, I actually did this one with monofilament and I was gonna complete it, but then I decided to do it with bead string wire because I want this to last a lifetime. So if you're doing this with monofilament, I have a wire here, okay, and I have one over here across from each other. Take your wire, go through, or monofilament, go through this bead, and this bead. Then take this wire, go through this one, and this one. So then, let's see, you should have one coming out here, and one coming out here, okay? So both of your wires will meet together in the same spot right here. Pull it very tight, your string, and then tie a surgeon's knot, okay? And then take your string, pass one through this bead, one through that bead, going around, okay, 1 through 2, 1 through 3, and then they'll meet again. Tie another surgeon's knot, and then do it again. Go through those there, through these here, and tie a knot here. And then pass through some beads and trim it off. It's that easy. When I first started making this, I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to tie knots in this. It's going to be really hard. But I managed to figure it out. It was not bad at all. So now I have to crimp this. And I have to make sure that it's tight, because sometimes I feel like the cherry, see that? It's too loose. I have to pull this tighter. I just can't get a grip on this side. Okay. So now I just have to crimp it. Oh, I think it's perfect now. Just gonna take my chain nose pliers, gently come in here. Careful, do it slowly. Do not break a seed bead. You don't want this to end in tears. Oh my god. I can't believe I just did that. So I am going to have to fix this. But you know what? It is not going to be that bad. I will tell you how to fix this. This is how we're going to fix this. You ready? Get your real crimping pliers. Come in here to this crimp and you squeeze it like this. Okay? It's going to open that crimp. Then you pull this, slides right off. You put a new crimp on, pick up, you know, the bead that I just broke. If this were to happen to you like it just did to me, pass, you know, back through the cherry, back through the crimp, through the cherry, come out the same holes. This is how I'm going to fix this. Okay? And then you would crimp it again. And just don't hit the seed bead like I did. But you know what? I'm happy this happened, because if it happened to you, you need to know how to fix it. And that is how you fix it. So I have to go get my crimping pliers. They're across the room. And do what I just told you to fix mine. It won't be that bad. Now, if I trim these wires off and that crimp was flattened, there's no way that I could fix it like that. I would have to take the entire thing apart because I wouldn't have enough wire to fix it. But at least you guys know how to fix it. Okay? So this is it. I'm going to fix it and I'll be back. So I did manage to fix it. It took 2 minutes tops. Did not take long at all, and I did exactly what I told you guys I was going to do, and it's awesome. Now I have to make the mate for this. I was originally just going to put a lobster claw on the top of it so I can clip it onto keychain, purse charms, zipper pull, you know, but I think I'm going to turn it into an earring. Yeah, well, I have to already put that on there, so I have to make the mate for it. So this is it. It's so cute. I really enjoyed designing this, and it's crazy to believe that all of this actually came from the beaded pumpkin head that I made before this. I made the beaded pumpkin head. I got the idea to make the snowman from the pumpkin head, and then now as I was making the snowman, I had the idea to do the ice cream cone, which also led to a cupcake. So how cool was that idea changed so much into so many different things, and I'm just really happy about all of this. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like this video, leave me a comment, subscribe if you want to see more of my videos, and like me on Facebook. And don't forget to share pictures of the jewelry we've made from my videos on my Facebook page, and follow me on Pinterest. Thanks for watching.